Hey everyone, it's Mana. So, if you're hoping to meet a lovely Japanese girl this year, you can't miss this video. Today, I'm going to walk you through where to meet Japanese women and the right steps to actually build a great relationship with one. So, why should you listen to me? Well, Japan has a very unique culture, our habits, traditions, the way we think. At the same time, Japan is also a super modern, developed country. On the surface, it might feel easy to connect with us. You might think, oh, I get it. It's not that different. But trust me, once you go a little deeper, you might start feeling confused or even stuck. Because deep down, our mindset and the cultural values are still very strong and very unique. And I don't want you to get frustrated or mess it up without even realizing why. So I'm here to save you. Are you ready? Let's dive in. So, the first step is actually meet a nice Japanese girl. If you are already living in Japan, that part is a little easier. You will naturally have more opportunities. But if you are just visiting and are walking around central Tokyo thinking, okay, I'm going to meet someone today, it's not that simple. First of all, in big areas like Shibuya, Shinjuku, you might not even know who's Japanese and who's a traveler from another Asian country. Tokyo is super international now. And second, it's a huge busy city. Everyone looks like they are rushing somewhere. No one really has the courage to start a conversation with people who look that busy. If you already have Japanese friends, the best thing you can do is ask if you can join their gatherings. If not, go to language exchange events or hobby meetups or community events. Another great option is taking a class or learning something new in Japan. Or after recommend staying in a hostel or guest house. When I worked at the hostel, we made a lot of foreign friends, except me. I was a chef and I was always super busy in the kitchen, so I didn't get to join them much. At night, travelers would come back to the hostel, grab a beer and just hang out together. We would sit around chatting and sharing travel stories. Some of the guys even went out with our staff to explore the city, and they are actually still friends today. Well, many hostels and guest houses in Japan closed during the pandemic, and there still aren't as many as there used to be. So places like hostels can also be a great environment to meet people naturally. Everyone is usually relaxed, open, and curious about different cultures. And if you find a Japanese girl you'd like to talk to, I think it's often better to start a conversation when she's not alone. For example, if she's with a friend, especially just one friend, it can actually be easier to approach. And if you like traveling alone, I think you will actually have more opportunities to make Japanese friends. Because when you are traveling solo, you are more likely to start conversations and connect with new people, right? But if you are traveling with friends from your own country, you might just stay in a group the whole time, and that's totally understandable. It's fun to spend time with your friends, but sometimes it also means you have fewer chances to meet new people. Many Japanese girls don't usually start conversations with people they don't know. That's just part of the culture. But if you talk to them in those situations, most of them will respond in a friendly and a cheerful way. So don't hesitate to start a simple chat. In Japan, we have many seasonal events, especially starting in spring. During cherry blossom season, we do hanami, which means enjoying the cherry blossoms while drinking, chatting, and spending time with friends, family, or co-workers. In summer, there are many festivals like Hanabi, fireworks events, and traditional matsuri. And even in autumn, Japan is still very lively. There's always something happening somewhere. And the best part is, even if you don't meet the one, you will still enjoy the experience itself. The food stalls, the music, the atmosphere. It's a really fun way to naturally connect with people. When everyone is there to have a good time, it feels much less awkward to start a simple conversation. You can say something like, is this your first time here? Or which food stall do you recommend? That's enough. You don't need a fancy pickup line. Now, what if you are not in Japan but you are still hoping to meet a Japanese woman? There are many Japanese people living overseas, and in many big cities there are Japanese community, but from the outside those communities can sometimes feel a little closed. A lot of younger Japanese women abroad as students, or they moved because of their parent jobs or for work, so they often already have their own small circle of Japanese friends. And often they come from families that value education and stability. That does not mean they are rich or anything like that, but usually means they were raised in an environment where they were taught to understand the different cultures and respect the cultural differences. Because of that, they may actually be more open-minded than you expect. Actually, many Japanese people living abroad are based on in big cities like New York, London, Oahu, Sydney, Melbourne, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Singapore, and more. For example, my cousins live in the US, and it's really interesting. They grew up learning about Japan and Japanese culture at home, how to behave, how to think in a Japanese way. But at the same time, they were raised in a completely different culture. When I spend time with them, I always feel this funny gap. They were very American, like very American, but they genuinely try to understand Japanese culture and people, even though they have Japanese parents. Growing up in other country gives them a totally different mindset from those of us who were raised in Japan. It really shows how much environment shapes the way we think, even if we share the same roots. And something else I find really interesting is this: even within my own family, the differences are huge. My cousins on the mainland US and my cousins in Hawaii are totally different. Their personalities, their vibe, the way they interact with people. It really made me realize how much the environment shapes the person's character and personality. Of course, I love them both. They're just very different. The one thing in common between my cousins on mainland US and in Hawaii is that they are both very peaceful and calm. I think the clearest difference between Japanese girls in Japan and those living abroad is how they communicate. For example, if a Japanese woman expresses her opinions very clearly and confidently, there's a good chance she was raised outside Japan. In many Western countries, people are encouraged to say exactly what they think, but many Japanese people who grew up in Japan tend to communicate a little differently. Instead of stating their opinions very directly, they often observe the situation first and pay attention to the other person's reaction. This is a very common cultural behavior in Japan. People often try to read the atmosphere before expressing their thoughts, and they may be more cautious about sharing strong or direct opinions. Understanding this difference can really help you communicate better. One reason for this is that in Japanese culture, we tend to consider the other person's feelings first before deciding how to respond or act. It's something many of us do very naturally. In a way, our mindset is often more other-centered rather than self-centered. Last month, I talked to a Japanese girl in Sydney who was studying at a design school. She told me that most students there are really busy. After school, many of them just go straight home to work on projects or assignments. Students living abroad often have a lot on plate, and there are practical things too, like inflation. Eating out at restaurants can be expensive for students, so it can affect how often they go out or socialize. But honestly, I would say going outside and meeting people in real life is much better than relying only on dating apps. These days, many people really value spending quality time outside, hanging out with friends, going to nice places, and having real experiences. So instead of just swiping on your phone, try going out, joining events, or spending time in social places. You will often have a much better chance of meeting someone and creating a genuine connection. Well, spring is coming soon in Japan, and my heart is already dancing. I really love spring here. There are so many things to do and so many beautiful places to enjoy during this season. So I hope this video gave you some help helpful hints to how to meet a cute Japanese girl. Thank you so much for watching my video. Until then, I would be happy if you hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video. Bye!